Hi, this is Lazy Mapper, and I want to give you some tips on when you're editing your map and ready to publish it. You might run into a lot of problems. I know a lot of people on the consoles have some problems. Unfortunately, I don't know all the codes on the consoles yet. I did make a map on there, but I didn't run into any clipping issues. It's where one object that has physics to it, if it explodes, or if you could push it, or if you could destroy it, or if it moves, and it touches other objects, you might have clipping issues. So the first clipping issue, I actually had like 20 of them, but after a while I started to develop my own pattern to fix it. This is an explosive barrel and I deleted it, and that solved that clipping issue. This map is called Mardi Gras and it's a PC map. I made a video on Far Cry maps and you can see it there. I'll leave a link in the description. This map was actually made in a beta version, and I didn't have as many issues in the beta version, but that system was still being worked out, and there's bugs that had to be worked through. So when I opened up my map, I had like 18 to 20 clipping issues, also 2 grids that were maxed out, mostly from physics. So most of your issues may be coming from objects that have some physics to it. I should have turned off my budget limit so it would have took away this yellow warning, but if you see, I didn't know what item was giving me the problem, so what I would do is delete it, check to see if it was a validation issue, and if it wasn't, I would just hit undo and it would put the item back. I thought it was at one point the house that was giving me a problem, so I deleted the whole house. I wasn't exactly sure at that time when I was editing what these clipping issues were, but later I did find out it was items that have physics to it. Unfortunately, the consoles don't have it marked. There is icons on the PC to show you what items have physics in it, and it does help out a lot. So if you're having some issues with your map, probably most of the time it's those physical items. And so I would save often. Every time you kind of think about it, you should save it. Also, when you get pretty further along, like every 20% of the map you think you've accomplished, I would save a whole new version of the map, maybe name it beta 1 or volume 2 or whatever further you're along on the map. So if you have a corrupted file or even some error you can't seem to fix, you got a whole separate map to go back to figure out what the problem is. Also, to use validation a lot to see what validation errors you could be having. Anyways, I go in and out and you'll see that there's a pan there, and that was the issue that was causing a validation issue. So I just deleted it. I didn't feel like messing around with it. So that basically solved my issues with my map. I could go in and publish it, but of course I just wanted to figure out what these validation issues were, and I wanted to test out my map. It would be really nice if you get the option to have physics off or on each one of these items somehow. That would really solve a lot of issues, especially those guys who like to make sculptures from objects. I know they're pretty neat, and I try it myself sometimes. I'm not as good as like Long Rider or like Death Weapon. They're really great at doing that. Mike G makes a lot of cool looking vehicles and stuff. Also Alpha Sergeant, he really knows how to put some objects together to make it into a car or a piano. Really amazing stuff there. You know, I'm always working to get better myself. If you want to check out the map, it's on PC. I have 2 different versions. One's Mardi Gras with quads, which is a team deathmatch map, and just with some tweaks and added more cover and took out the quads, there's Mardi Gras for all, which is a deathmatch map. I also did some gameplay video on Far Cry maps, which I mentioned before. I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more tutorials and more maps that I'll show off and play through. Thanks for watching The Lazy Mapper.